Good morning, students. This is Arvind, Assistant Professor, Department of BASIC Technology. So in the previous class, we discussed about basic operating principles and characteristics of IPFC. And now in this class, we are going to discuss the last topic in the 15 minutes, that is generalized multifunctional power flow controller. Generalized multifunctional power flow controller. That means it is the combination of IPFC and UPFC. Okay. So coming to the concept. That is generalized and multifunctional fact controllers. So in the previous two sections of this chapter, that means in the power flow controllers concept, we discussed two power flow controllers up to now, that is IPFC and UPFC, with the unique capability of providing both reactive and real series compensation. In those two power flow controllers, we discussed the unique capability of providing both reactive and real series compensation. We discussed, and in the UPFC can execute comprehensive compensation for a single line. Okay, the UPFC can execute comprehensive compensation for a single line, whereas the IPFC can provide comprehensive reactive and real compensation for selected lines of a multi-line transmission system. So, however, there can be compensation requirements for particular multi-line systems. Okay, however, there can be compensation requirements for particular multi-line transmission systems, so which would not be compatible with the basic constraint of the IPFC, which would not be compatible with the basic constraint of the IPFC. So stipulating that the sum of real power exchanged with all the lines must be 0. So stipulating that the sum of real power exchanged with all the lines must be 0. So this constraint could be particularly restrictive under an emergency contingency. So this constraint could be particularly restrictive under an emergency contingency when those lines which were to support the prime lines would also be overloaded. Prime lines would also be overloaded. So this potential problem can be solved by combining the UPFC and IPFC concept. This potential problem can be solved by combining the UPFC and IPFC concepts to realize a generalized interline power flow controller arrangement. Okay, the potential problem can be solved by combining the UPFC and IPFC concepts to realize a generalized interline power flow controller arrangement in which a shunt connected converter is added to the number of converters providing series compensation. That is the combination of IPFC, UPFC, and a combination of shunt connected converter and series connected converter. So this is the diagrammatic representation of this generalized interline power flow controller scheme for comprehensive power transmission control and management. So here we are taking multiple transmission lines we are taking up to n, 1 to n we are taking. In this one we are taking shunt converter, and after that we are taking n number of converters. Okay, and here we are taking control. So from this control we are connecting the converters through the optical links. Okay, here we are connecting the DC bus to those converters, either shunt converter or series converter or any other converter. We are connecting the DC bus to all those converters. So here we are taking transformers also. For each converter we are taking one transformer, and these are connected to the transmission lines. That two high voltage transmission lines we are taking in this one. Okay. So with this scheme, the net power difference at the DC terminal is supplied or observed by the shunt converter and ultimately exchanged with the AC system at the shunt bus. So with this scheme, the net power difference at the DC terminal is supplied or observed by the shunt converter and ultimately exchanged with the AC system at the shunt bus. So this arrangement can be economically attractive because the shunt converter has to be rated only for the maximum real power difference anticipated for the whole system. So this arrangement can be economically attractive because the shunt converter has to be rated only for the maximum real power difference anticipated for the whole system. So furthermore, it can also facilitate relatively inexpensive shunt reactive compensation. Okay, furthermore, it can also facilitate relatively inexpensive shunt reactive compensation. So if this is needed at the particular substation bus, because the shunt converter would need to be rated only for the vectorial sum, that is the square root of the squares of real power it exchanges with the other converters, and reactive power it provides for shunt compensation. Okay, real power it exchanges with the other converters, and reactive power it provides for shunt compensation. And it also possible that the compensation and power flow control requirements at a given substation change due to system contingency maintenance and system operational changes. Okay. So under these conditions and scenarios, complete functional changes in compensation and control requirements may be possible. So under these conditions and scenarios, complete functional changes in compensation and control requirements may be possible. So for example, if you take a weekend system or under heavy line loading, voltage support of a given bus may be more. Voltage support of a given bus may be more important than the power flow control of a given line. Okay, so this type of problem and the unpredictability of transmission requirements in the increasingly deregulated power industry can be handled well by applying converter-based controllers in an appropriate convertible configuration. Okay, so this type of problem and the unpredictability of transmission requirements in the increasingly deregulated power industry can be handled well by applying converter-based controllers in an appropriate convertible configuration. So the principle is illustrated in the diagram for a two-line arrangement, which could be expanded to any number of converter lines. This is the diagram. So this is the illustration of the functional convertibility of a compensator scheme comprising two voltage source converters. So here we are taking multi-line transmission system, multi-line transmission we are taking, those are HV1 and HV2, and further we are taking two converters, converter 1 and converter 2, and these two converters consist of the converters with transformer. So each converter consisting of transformers, two transformers we are taking, and these transformers are connected to the transmission line via the switches. And here we are taking the control, so this control is connected to the converters, and these two converters are linked by using a switches. Okay, so this is an illustration of functional convertibility of a compensator scheme comprising two voltage source converters. So the inspection of this diagram, by the inspection of this diagram, okay, the figure shows that the appropriate closing and opening of the circuit switches. So in the previous diagram we are having so many number of switches. Okay, so with the appropriate opening and closing of the circuit switches, connecting the converter outputs to the coupling transformers, the two converters each with 1 per unit VA rating could be configured to function as first one STATCOM. So the STATCOM functioning is 1 per unit and 2 per unit rating. That is the VA rating, and the SSC is 1 per unit and 2 per unit rating. And STATCOM and SSC both combined each 1 per unit rating. And UPFC is 1 per unit series and 1 per unit shunt converter rating. And IPFC uses 1 per unit for each line. So note that the per unit ratings shown are not the throughput ratings of the lines. The per unit ratings above shown for the STATCOM, SSC and UPFC, IPFC, those are not the throughput ratings of the lines. So generally the FACTS controller ratings are smaller than the throughput ratings. The FACTS controller ratings are smaller than the throughput ratings. So they are more related to the per unit series inductance of the lines. They are more related to the per unit series inductance of the lines. So the power electron based controller ratings are defined by the product of maximum voltage and maximum current the equipment handles. Okay, the power electron based controllers rating are defined by the product of maximum voltage and maximum current the equipment handles. Even if the maximum voltage and current do not occur simultaneously. Even if the maximum voltage and current do not occur simultaneously. So the importance of multifunctional and convertible fact controllers for the optimal utilization of transmission systems cannot be overstated. It cannot be overstated. So at the beginning of this power flow controllers concept, the functional use of two groups of fact controllers discussed. Those are one group employing consisting thyristor switched reactors, that is TSR, and TWS, that is the thyristor switched capacitors, and tap changers, and the other using voltage source converters as synchronous voltage sources were summarized and illustrated in the two diagrams. So I will show those two diagrams. This one. This is the first diagram. This is the group of voltage source converters based fact controllers. This is one group, and next one is group of conventional thyristor control fact controllers. This is the first group, and this is the first group, and this is the second group we are taking. So coming to the first group, so in the first group we are taking employing the fact controllers employing TSR, that is the thyristor switched reactor, and TSC, that is the thyristor switched capacitors and cap changers. And the second group consisting of voltage source converters as synchronous voltage sources. Okay, so coming to this diagram, so here we are taking static wire compensators, that is SVC, and thyristor controlled series capacitor, that is TCSC, and thyristor controlled voltage source regulator, that is TCVR, and thyristor controlled phase angle regulator, that is TCPAR. These four we are taking. So all are connecting through the transformer to the sources. Okay, so in both ends we are having sending in and receiving end sources. Both are having the voltages, and these are all connected to the source. Okay, so here static wire compensator consisting of thyristor valves, which consisting of the parallel connection of two thyristor valves. Okay, each consisting of capacitor. Okay, so in the thyristor switched series capacitor, control series reactor, series capacitor also, we are taking the thyristor valve in connection to the capacitor. Okay, so these connections are used to control the real and reactive power flow in the transmission system or transmission line. In the TCVR also, the thyristor control voltage regulator also, we are taking the same. Okay, here also we are taking the thyristor valve, and these thyristor valves are connected to the capacitor and transformers. Okay, and if you observe this diagram, you have the casting diagram of these functionalities also. For the SVR we have one casting diagram, and for TCS we are having one casting diagram, and for the TCVR we are having casting diagram, and for the TCPR we have one more casting diagram. For all the four cases we are taking the casting diagram out. So in this one, in the static wire compensator, we are taking the casting diagram between voltage versus currents in the capacitor and inductor. So the voltage is taken on the y-axis and currents are taken on the x-axis. So on the left side of the axis we are taking the inductive current, and on the right side of the axis we are taking capacitor currents. Okay, so the curve is like up to some point is increasing linearly, and after that it will move to the right side and it will increase one more area. Okay, that is the casting diagram of the static wire compensator. And coming to the thyristor control series capacitor, in this one we are drawing the casting diagram between power and angle, P and delta. So the P is taken on y-axis and delta is taken on x-axis. Here we have two curves. Okay, both two are half sinusoidal curves, half sine wave. And coming to the thyristor control voltage regulator, in this one we are taking the cascade diagram between change in voltage to the regulating voltage. Regulating voltage. So here the regulating voltage is taken on y-axis and change in voltage is taken on x-axis. Here the curve is straight line, horizontal straight line, vertical linear line. Okay, and coming to the fourth one. So in this one, we are taking thyristor control phase angle regulator. So it is a TCP. And in this one, the curve is drawn between power versus angle difference, that is delta minus sigma. Here we are using a tap changing transformer. Okay, in this one, we have delta connection of the transformer secondary. So for that one, we have two curves. Both are one is half sine wave and another one is normal sine wave. Okay. And coming to the second case, that is group of voltage source converter based tax controllers. In this one also we are taking STATCOM, SSC and SVS based voltage regulator and SVS based angle regulator. So in this one we are taking firstly static synchronous compensator, that is STATCOM. So in the STATCOM we are taking the thyristor valve which consisting of thyristor and diode, and this thyristor valve is consisting of one capacitor, and whole combination is connected to the transformer to the source on the sending end, and it consisting of the cascade diagram. In this one, the cascade diagram is drawn between voltage versus current. So similar to the previous one, here also we are taking the graph cascade diagram between voltage and current. So in the y-axis we are taking voltage, and in the x-axis we are taking current. Both in the inductor region and capacitor region we are taking. Okay, on the right side we are taking the inductive region, and on the left side we are taking the capacitor region. Here the current is increasing linearly up to some point, and after that it will increase linearly in the other side. Okay, and next coming to the triple SC. So in the triple SC concept also we are taking the thyristor valve which consisting of thyristor and diodes in the parallel connection, and it is also consisting of the capacitor, and whole combination is connected to the transformer. Okay, and next this one is connected to the receiving end voltage, receiving end side. Okay, here we drawn the cascade diagram between power and load angle. So here we have three curves. Two curves are the half sine wave and another one is for the normal. And coming to the SVS based voltage regulator. So in this one also we are taking two converters. So each converter consisting of the valves. Those are thyristors and diodes. Both are in the parallel connection to both. So here the two converters are connected by using the DC link. So the DC link consisting of one capacitor, and these two converters are connected to the sending end through the transformers. So here also we are taking one cascade diagram. So that is between voltage regulator versus change in voltage. So the voltage regulating is taken on the y-axis and the delta is taken on the x-axis. Here we are drawing one straight line horizontally. That means there is a regulating voltage with respect to the change in voltage. Then coming to the SVS based phase angle regulator. So in the phase angle regulator, we are taking again two converters, each converter consisting of valves. The valve is consisting of thyristor and diode parallel combination, and these two converters are connected through a DC link. The DC link consisting of one DC capacitor, and these two converters are connected to the receiving end by using a transformer. So here also we are taking one cascade diagram. So the diagram is between power versus angles, different of angle between delta to sigma. Okay, those are all half sine waves, similar to the previous. Okay, and next, these illustrations convey the traditional viewpoint of the transmission control. Those two illustrations for the combination of those two, that is the TCR and TSR and TSC, and some tap changes, and after we are taking voltage converters. Okay, so those illustrations convey the traditional viewpoint of transmission control. So that is, the transmitted real power is controlled by changing one of the three parameters, that is voltage, impedance or angle. These are the three parameters. By using these three, we are controlling the transmitted real power of the basic transmission equation. So thus, usually one of the controllers designed specifically for a single function voltage, impedance or angle control is applied to solve the particular problem at hand. Okay, so whereas this approach may be economically savvy for the short term, it may not have the capability for broader optimization of the transmission assets or the flexibility to handle changing transmission conditions, and ultimately it may result in a stranded asset. Okay, so next I will show one more diagram. So that diagram illustrates a contrasting approach of using standard voltage source converter modules that already discussed in the previous slides. Okay, using standard voltage source converter modules. So this one. So this is the illustration of generalized IPFC concept for comprehensive real and reactive power flow control of a multi-line transmission systems. So if you observe this diagram, we are taking multi-transmission lines. So for those transmission lines, we are connecting UPFC and IPFC. Okay, and the corresponding cascade diagram also is shown in this one. Okay, here also we are taking STATCOM triple SC. Okay, STATCOM and triple SC we are taking. So the corresponding equations also given in this one, that is R, P12, Q1, Q2R, and P13 and Q3R. That is P12 is equal to V1 V2 by X into sin of delta 1 minus delta 2, and Q2R is equal to V1 into V2 by X into 1 minus cos of delta 1 minus delta 2, and P13. So this P13 and Q2R are the outputs of these unified power flow controllers and STATCOM. And coming to the P13 and Q3R, here P13 is the V1 V3 by X into sin of delta 1 minus delta 3, and Q3R is the V1 into V3 by X into 1 minus cos of delta 1 minus delta 3. Okay. Here also we are having the cascade diagram between power and angle delta. In both the cases, for the unified power flow controller and internal power flow controller, we have the phasor diagram, cascade diagram. Okay. So which can function individually as conventional. So the diagram can function functionally individually as conventional, that is voltage independent impedance or angle controllers as conventional controllers, but can also be converted from one functional use to another. And more importantly, it can be connected to a common DC link to provide comprehensive transmission capabilities. So as can be observed, two voltage source converter modules used to control the power flow between buses 1 and bus 2 can be used to individually as a STATCOM and a triple SC, or can be combined to function as a UPFC for the comprehensive control of both real and reactive power flow between buses 1 and 2. Buses 1 and 2. So with the addition of the third converter module, that is triple SC, the second line receives an independent series reactive compositor, that is triple SC. So however, by connecting this converter to the common DC bus, a generalized IPFC is established which can control and optimize under the prevailing system conditions the real and reactive power in both the lines from bus 1 to bus 2 and also from bus 1 to bus 3. Okay, so this simple example shows the capability of the voltage source converter based approach to maintain full convertibility and individual functionality while also providing a powerful potential for an integrated transmission management system with comprehensive capacity of real and reactive power flow control and handling of dynamic disturbances. Okay, and lastly, in the multifunctional fax controller arrangements discussed previously, each controller in a line can independently carry out limited compensation and control functions, and thus the common DC connection does not represent a significant single point failure. So this is the concept of generalized and multifunctional fact controllers, and this is the last concept we discussed in the 5th chapter. Okay, and now I am closing the fact subject. Okay, that is a flexible AC junction. Okay, in this subject we discussed the introduction to the facts controllers, and after that voltage converter and transfer switch converter, and after that we discussed shunt converter, shunt compensator, series compensator, and lastly we discussed about the power flow controllers. Okay, thank you for watching this video.